Good morning to all the grade 9 children. Welcome to new chapter of physics after chapter number 8 motion. Now you are going to learn about chapter 9 force and laws of motion. What is force and what are the laws of motion? What are the topics and subtopics we are going to cover in this? So for today, the first one, force and laws of motion, balanced and unbalanced forces, first law of motion, inertia and mass. So the first four topics will be dealt today, and the 5, 6, 7, second law of motion, third law of motion, and conservation of momentum will be dealt in the next class. So, introduction of force. As you all are familiar that we want to open a door, we have to push the door handle. Similarly, when we want to close it, we have to we have to pull it. This shows that in order to move the body, we need to push or pull. This push or pull is called force, as you have learnt in your previous class. Likewise, if we need a hammer, a nail in wood, we have to strike the hammer or nail with great strength. So, combining both, we can sum up that the pushing and pulling or the strength is force. We can define it in a technical language as an external influence which, when applied on a body, can bring about changes in it. I repeat, an external influence which, when applied on a body, can bring about changes in it. You can see just by kicking a football, it moves from one place to another place. The following changes can be brought about in a body when a force is applied. Change in position, like kicking the football. Change in direction, like applying force on steering wheel of car. Change in dimension, squeezing a tube of toothpaste. Change in speed of a body, acceleration of a car. So what are the different types of forces? That is, example, the types of forces are balanced and unbalanced forces. Now, force is measured in newtons. You already know. The SI unit of force is Newton. Here, if you observe, on our left, three people are pulling the rope on the left, and three people are pulling the rope on the right. The force applied here on the left side and right side are given as 300 newtons. So, there is no change in the movement of the rope because both are equal forces and they are called balanced forces. As you all know, this is nothing but a tug of war. Next, unbalanced forces. Here on our left side you can see 400 newtons. On the right side you can see 300 newtons of force. 400 newtons of force is greater than 300 newtons. So the rope is pulled towards our left, that is green t-shirt side. So we have two types of forces depending upon whether the effect of force is seen or felt or not. That is balanced force and unbalanced force. Balanced force, the equal and opposite force acting on a body with which all which will not make the body move. For example, if we have a box and in order to move it we apply force. Let's say the same force is acting on an object from opposite side, then both forces will cancel each other's effect as their magnitude is the same and both are acting from opposite direction or sides. So the resultant force will be zero. Unbalanced force, the unequal and opposite force acting on the body which will make the body move in the direction of greater force applied. For example, if we have a box and in order to move it we need to apply a force. Let's say the force of unequal magnitude is acting on the object from opposite sides. This time both the forces will not cancel each other effect as their magnitude is not the same. So the resultant force will not be zero and will also make the body move in the direction of greater force applied, as given in the example here. So, here is the picture of Sir Isaac Newton, one of the greatest scientists of science. Newton's law of motion is found by Sir Isaac Newton. What did he find? Laws of motion. What are the three laws we are going to learn today? First law states that every body continues to be in state of rest or uniform motion until or unless acted upon by a net external force. I repeat, every body remains in a state of rest or uniform motion until some external force acts on it to change its state. Here, a rest object can be changed into motion, motion object can be changed into rest. Second law and third law will be dealt in the next class. There are certain laws given by Isaac Newton which are obeyed by all bodies. Let's start with Newton's laws of motion now, that is Newton's first law of motion. Newton's first law of motion: an object at rest will remain at rest unless acted by an unbalanced force. An object is an object in motion will continue with constant speed and direction unless acted on by an unbalanced force. It states that a body at rest will remain at rest, a body in motion will remain in motion until or unless some external force acts on it. For example, if we need to ride a bicycle, we need to paddle it as it can't move on its own. We have to apply force on the paddles to ride it. Similarly, if we need to change its direction, we need to apply force on the steering wheel. The reason behind it is the inherent property called inertia. One of the important topics here is inertia. It is nothing but the tendency of your body to be in its state. We know in physics, state is here is motion or rest. So let us try to understand it. It is an inherent property that is present in all bodies from the time of their origin. That means this property is not fended into a substance. It is present from the time of its origin. This property actually resists any kind of change in body by itself. Like if we need to ride a bicycle, we have to paddle it. It will not move on its own. We need to apply force by paddling it. Please note, in order to move or change any property of body, we need to overcome inertia. There are certain factors on which inertia depends. It depends on mass. More the mass, more is the inertia, or lesser the mass, lesser is the inertia. So, mass is measure of inertia. Remember, mass is measure of inertia. Then what is inertia? The tendency of your body to be in its state, either it is rest or motion, is called inertia. For example, we have two balls, on one heavier and one lighter. Let's say both the balls are rolling down a slope. In order to stop them, we need to apply force. It is seen that to stop heavier ball, we need to apply more force. The reason being that it is heavier, it has more inertia. That means the resistance to change its state. What are the different types of inertia? It is of three types: inertia of rest, inertia of motion, inertia of direction. Inertia of rest. It is the inability of your body to change the state of rest on its own. If you observe this here, inertia of rest, the resistance of a body to change its state of rest is called inertia of rest. You can see a coin placed on a cardboard above a glass. When we hit the cardboard, immediately the coin tries to stay there and it falls into the glass. So, inertia of rest. So, the coin which is on the cardboard tries to be at rest, and when the cardboard is removed all of a sudden, it tries to stay at rest and it falls into the glass. Inertia of motion. It is the inability of your body to resist the change of state of motion on its own. So when a bus is in motion and all of a sudden there is a application of brakes, the body which is in motion until it applies until the bus applies brakes, the body continuously tries to be in motion when the even the brakes are applied. So we tend to fall forward. Inertia of direction. It is the inability of body to resist the change in direction of a body on its own. See, when we are traveling in a bus and suddenly the bus changes its direction, we tend to fall in the direction which the bus initially moved earlier. So, our tendency to be in the same direction doesn't change. So, when the bus changes the direction, our body tries to go in the previous direction itself, and we tend to fall away from the place where we are standing in the bus. Inertia is nothing but mass of measure of mass is inertia. Examples to understand more about inertia are: have you noticed that passengers in a bus fall forward when bus stops suddenly? Here you can see the first one, when bus starts suddenly, we fall backward. When the bus is in motion and suddenly stops, we fall forward. It is due to inertia of rest, the left one, inertia of motion, the right side one. When the bus is moving, the bus and the passengers sitting in it are in motion, but when the force is applied on the brakes, it stops. But due to inertia of motion, the passengers remain in the state of motion, hence fall forward. Have you experienced that when carpet is beaten with a stick, the dust separates out? Initially, the carpet and the dust are in the state of rest. But when carpet is beaten with a stick, it comes in motion and moves backward. But due to inertia of rest, the dust particles remain in the state of rest, hence get separated from the cloth. Have you noticed that leaves of fruits fall down when branch of trees is shaken vigorously? Initially, the branch of tree and its leaves and fruits are in state of rest. But when force is applied on the branch of a tree, the tree comes in motion, but due to inertia of rest, the leaves of fruits remain in the state of rest, hence fall down. All the bodies in motion possess a physical property, momentum. Let us learn about it before starting with Newton's second law of motion. What is momentum? It is the measure of motion in body, or it is equal to the product of mass and velocity of a body. So momentum is denoted by lowercase letter p, which is equal to m into v. M denotes mass and v denotes velocity. The CGS unit, the MKS unit of momentum are kg meter per second. So I repeat, momentum is the product of mass and velocity. Momentum p is equal to m into v. It depends upon velocity. As we know, velocity is a vector quantity, so as momentum is a vector quantity. I repeat, as velocity is a vector quantity, momentum is also a vector quantity. Have you noticed a karate player? He can break a pile of tiles with a single blow of his hand. The karate player strikes the pile of tiles with his hand very fast. In doing so, the large momentum of his hand is reduced to zero in a very short duration. So, with this, we conclude today's class. So, go through the video twice or thrice for better understanding. Thank you.